Happy Friday. It is almost the weekend, and we are coming off a nice little 2-0 sweep. Got a huge show for you today. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we made it to the end of the week. That's right. It is Friday. Hopefully, we can finish strong. As you already heard, a nice little 2-0 mini sweep. I'm glad I didn't add any plays because the slate was just kind of ugly. But anyways, I hope you all have had a great week. Hope you have some great weekend plans. Unless you're a parent of toddlers like myself, then just good luck, really, is all I'm going to say to you. But it was nice to see a 2-0 day. But again, it's such a long season. So be sure to check out that NBA Best Bets video that is out or will be out on Friday. So we got a lot of games in both leagues, including a 12-game slate here in the Major League Baseball's realm. So I got a couple pieces of news. We're going to be adding even more research help in the MLB videos next week. For those of you that watched this last year, you already know we're going to have things like hitters on fire. It's going to just tell you all the hottest hitters in the last week or so. And then we're going to have aces of bases, guys that are getting the most total bases in the last so many days. So we got a lot more things to add. It's not every day. It's going to be like once a week type of thing, but that just goes with everything else that we're giving out. And for those that are newer, these videos are not just for me to give a couple bets. They're here to help you. That has been our main goal since we started this channel. We want to give out as much info as possible. My best bets at the end and my opinions and my thoughts, that is just a small part of what we do. So hopefully you guys are getting a lot of help from these. But I'm ready to get started because we got a lot to talk about. And of course, it starts with a baseball fun fact that absolutely blew my mind. This is insane. Maybe some of you guys already know this, but here we go. The fun fact of the day: Cecil Fielder Jr. and Cecil Fielder Sr., if you don't know who they were, two good MLB players, decently recent. They both played MLB baseball. They both had exactly 319 home runs. Exactly. Father, son. I'm not done. Both had exactly 40% of their hits go for extra bases. Still not done. Both had exactly 97 two-out home runs. How? I don't even get it. And then they both had exactly 18 ninth inning home runs. That's each. I just don't even understand how that can happen. That is absolutely bonkers for a father and son to have the exact same numbers. I just wanted to share that fun fact with you because it's just interesting to me. So in this video, we're going to recap yesterday, and then we're going to talk good hitter matchups, good pitcher strikeout matchups, and we got quite a few. And then, of course, that pitcher report to analyze every single pitching matchup on the schedule. And then we end it with the best bets and that bets recap. So hit that like button, leave a comment below, hit that subscribe if you are new to the channel as we chase our first 23,000 subscribers. I'm blown away every time I say it. I appreciate all the support. Thank you guys. And let's end the week strong. So let's start the baseball journey. And of course, that means the recap. All right, there it is. Just 2 games and 2 winners. I like to see it. Mike Soroka under 3.5 Ks. That was a beauty. I watched every pitch of him. Only in sports betting will you get me to watch on my phone a White Sox Royals game in detail. But Soroka, he struck out the very first batter of the game on just a terrible slider, nowhere even near the plate. And I was thinking, here we go. He's going to get 8 Ks, and he ends up with 2. And he goes into the 6th inning. He still ended up with 2. His stuff is not very good. It is what I thought it was. So anyways, that was a nice winner. This Nerfy, guys. I mean, I took a picture and sent it to Discord. I got everything settled. My kids were fine. I got on the computer. I followed the game. And had my coffee. I was excited, and it's a stressful thing. You guys that do Yerfies and Nerfies every day, I don't know how you do it. We're going to dabble some more into it. It was a lot of fun, but the Minnesota Twins had a Kirilloff triple with 1 out in the bottom of the first, and that stressed me out. Luckily, we had a K of Buxton, and then they got the 3rd out after that, and it was the Nerfy hit. So that was a nice little winner to go 2-0. But man, I don't know. I think I'm a little too old for Nerfies and Yerfies for the stress of that. But that was a lot of fun anyways. But anyways, 13-11 overall, up 1.93 units so far on the season. And that's the recap for Thursday. Now, before we get to those best bets, let's get to the good hitter matchups. All right, we got 13 good hitter matchups for you today for Friday, April 5th. And we have 4 Phillies players. Why? Because happy Patrick Corbin Day. You gotta love it. JT Real Muto, 11 for 32, 4 extra base hits and 2 bombs. Then you see, speaking of bombs, Alec Baum. See what I did there? Anyways, 5 extra base hits, 2 home runs versus Corbin. And then we got Bryson Stott over there. Kyle Schwarber, 5 for 15, couple home runs. They are really taking over the Phillies on this chart today. But other than that, no one with a ton of home runs. Just a couple. Alex Verdugo for the Yankees, which is weird to say, but 5 for 13 against Yusei Kikuchi. And so on and so on. There are the rest of the guys. Freddie Freeman, 5 for 13 with the home run versus Kyle Hendricks. And I believe the wind is going to be massively blowing in Wrigley. So that's the one stadium you want to know what the weather is, because that drastically affects what people do and what the score is and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, that's what we got for the hitter matchups for Friday, April 5th. Go take a screenshot, and hopefully this helps you get some winners. And now let's go talk some arms. All right, here are the good pitcher strikeout matchups for April 5th. And if you are new, I just want to point this out. What I do here is just kind of take some of the higher K pitchers against some of the higher K teams, give you the info. Obviously, the books know some of this too. Maybe they still drop a line too low. It doesn't mean just auto bet all of these. But just wanted to point that out. So I just want to give you as much info as I possibly can for this. So these are the 5 best matchups. Tariq Skubal, you know I love him. He was unbelievable in his first start. He is a stud, a Cy Young candidate. Facing the Oakland A's, 7th highest K percentage versus lefties in last year, 2023. And again, we're just using 2023 numbers for now, for maybe another week or maybe not even that long, and then we'll start just using this year. But Skubal, 102 Ks in 80.1 innings, had some injuries last year, and he had 6 Ks in his first start versus the White Sox. And then the youngster, Grayson Rodriguez against the Pirates. Pirates not a super high strikeout team last year, 10th highest, 24%. But Rodriguez, not a super high K guy, but he is above average for sure. And he looked better in the second half of last year, and he looked good in his first start facing the Angels, who do strike out a lot. But he had 9 strikeouts in that game. And then Dylan Cease versus the Giants. He already faced the Giants. He had 6 Ks. So this is his second start and against the same team. Giants were the 9th highest K percentage last year against righties. And then you see Cease's numbers there. So the fourth one, Freddie Peralta versus my Seattle can't hit a lick Mariners. Seattle's second highest K percentage versus righties last year. They just K'd a lot. And then Peralta, one of the best strikeout pitchers in the major leagues, 210 in 165.2 innings. In his first start versus the New York Mets, he had 8 strikeouts. And then the final one, Cutter Crawford of the Red Sox, facing those Angels that just know how to strike out. Angels 5th highest last year against righties. Crawford, as you see his numbers there. And Crawford had a good first start, especially in Ks. 7 strikeouts against my Seattle Mariners. Mariners and Angels are probably about similar in Ks. Angels may strike out a little bit more this year. But anyways, that's what we got for the best pitcher strikeout matchups. Hopefully this helps you, or at least gives you a good start if you're someone who loves to bet those pitcher strikeouts. And there's some other average pitchers, which they may drop a line that's too low and still might be profitable. These are just the high K guys. So anyways, that's what we got. Now let's get into the pitcher report. All right, here's page 1 for the pitcher matchups for Friday, April 5th. If you are new, as you can see, we got a lot of different categories here. ERA, expected ERA to kind of tell you who's due for negative and positive regression. WHIP, Ks, if you like to bet walks, it's there too. Hits per 9 innings, all that. And then, of course, the average for a starting pitcher last year, all those numbers on the bottom, so you have something to compare it to. But just in general here, I mean, Marcus Stroman making his home debut for the New York Yankees. He's struggled in Yankee Stadium in his career. We'll see. That's obviously as a visitor. So then Tariq Skubal, you already know, just a stud. 32.9% K rate last year. He is as good as it gets almost. And then Kyle Hendricks, Bobby Miller. Bobby Miller was electric in his first start. Hendricks is a big-time pitch-to-contact guy. I don't know if that's good against the Dodgers, but again, as of right now, I could be reading it wrong. The wind does look like it's massively blowing in Wrigley, which will help him. Gomber has been horrendous in Colorado. Most pitchers have, but he has not been good at home, so we'll see. He had a 5.62 expected ERA last year. Grayson Rodriguez, Jared Jones, a couple of young studs, big-time prospects. Jones, I think, had 10 Ks in his first start. It says NA because he didn't pitch last year, so there's nothing to go off of, but you can check out his first start. Then Rodriguez had, I think we just mentioned, 8 or 9 Ks in his first start, so that'll be a fun matchup to watch. Dylan Cease, Jordan Hicks, a guy who went from reliever to starter, and we talked about him in our season preview video. He is a guy who can strike out a decent amount of players, so that'll be a fun matchup to watch. And then Hunter Green, Jose Quintana there on the bottom. We will talk about that game more later. So, anyways, that's page 1. Take a screenshot. Let's go check out page 2 now. And they got a big pitching advantage for the Phillies. Aaron Nola versus Patrick Christmas Tree Corbin. And then again, another one. Spencer Strider versus Tommy Henry. Henry's not that good in my opinion. I've watched him pitch. He's just nothing special. He's a lefty. And now he gets to face the Braves. Congratulations to you. And then Eric Fedde of the White Sox, because the White Sox apparently just have pitchers that are trying to revamp their career and make them good again. But Fedde has not been very good. He didn't pitch last year, so he did pitch the year before, but I didn't want to include 2 years ago stats. And then Hunter Brown, the guy they're trying to develop into a star there in Houston against Bradford for the Rangers. Nothing special there for Bradford, that's for sure. But maybe one of the best pitching matchups of the day, if not the best, is Logan Gilbert versus Freddie Peralta, the Mariners and Brewers game. As you see, their numbers pretty similar. Peralta, has a higher K rate, but that should be a good matchup for those two teams. Two struggling offenses as well. And then Cutter Crawford versus Griffin Canning. I mean, he is kind of a can. He's supposed to be good, but I don't love what I see. He's kind of just okay, in my opinion. But anyways, that's the pitcher report and all my opinions, apparently. And so anyways, take a screenshot. Hopefully this helps you just kind of get ready for the day and get your bets ready. And maybe something jumps out of you, whether it's Ks, walks, hits, whatever it is. But that's what we got for the pitcher report. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this segment of the show is brought to you by our sponsor, Better Bet. That's BTR Bet, the best place to find, track, analyze, and share your bets. If you have not already, go click that link below and check it out. It's an awesome app. So here we go. This first bet takes us out to Cincinnati. We got the Reds hosting the New York Mets. Reds moneyline minus 116, Mets moneyline minus 102, a total of 9 runs in this game. This is simple for me, guys. I haven't bet a lot of money lines, but I'm going to now. Give me the Reds money line as my best bet at minus 116 on FanDuel. It's kind of baffling to me. I'm going to be honest. This line is, I know that's never a good start. I feel kind of like a sucker right now. But the Mets are one of the worst teams in the league this year. If you do not know that, it's not a surprise either. It's not like some fluky, they're just off to a bad start. They're just not very good anymore. They have only led by 7 total innings this season. That's not pretty at all. They are a bottom 5 offense right now. They just went 13 or 14 straight innings yesterday because they had a doubleheader without a hit. I mean, they almost got no hit in the second game. It was just not one freaking hit. It's crazy. They ended up somehow getting a win. If you saw that Pete Alonso home run in the 9th inning to tie it, I don't even know what to say. It was like a changeup down below his knees. He didn't even swing all the way through and it went out. He is freaking strong. Anyways, side note. But anyways, they're coming off a doubleheader. They used a lot of bullpen in that second game, and they just played 2 games, and now they have to get on the plane, travel to Cincinnati. It's not a good scheduling spot on top of them not being a very good team. The Reds are rested, obviously. They should have pretty much all arms on deck in the bullpen ready to go. Starting pitcher matchup. Real quick, let's talk about it. Jose Quintana, the lefty, versus Hunter Green, the flamethrower. Quintana is meh. He's just meh to me. He gave up 2 runs in 4.2 innings versus the Brewers in his first start. He only got 4 whiffs that game. 17 called strikes, but 4 whiffs. And all 4 were on the changeup. 0 whiffs on the sinker, 0 on the curveball, and 0 on the fastball. A big reason is because his fastball only averaged 89.5 miles an hour. I'm laughing at it as if it's terrible. I wish I could throw 89.5, but for a major leaguer, 89.5 is not good. He is a pitch to contact guy, which I think is a good thing for the Reds because they are an aggressive offense that likes to attack. And I think they have a chance to do some damage here. Last season, he faced the Reds only once in the second half of the season, and I'm going to use that because first half they didn't have all their young prospects and they were just a different team. So in that game, he pitched 6.2 innings, only struck out 2 Reds players, and he gave up 8 hits. So he was hit around, and that was in New York. Now we have to go to the Great American Small Park, one of the biggest hitters park in the major leagues in Cincinnati. I think the Reds score some runs off of him and their bullpen if they need to. But then Hunter Green on the mound. If you don't know Hunter Green, he has as electric of stuff as anybody in the entire major leagues. The question is, can he control it? That's the main question for him. When he has his command, he is extremely tough to hit. Let's just face it. He's really hard to hit. Sometimes he can have blow-up games, though, because he's walking 4, 5, 6 guys. He had 4 walks in his first game and 7 Ks versus the Nationals, which you think, it's the Nationals. Nats do not strike out, guys. They're a top 5 in regards to not striking out, and he still had 7 Ks. But, and it's a big but. Anyways, The Mets have drawn the fourth fewest walks versus righties this season. So they do not walk. And if you think, well, small sample size, the entire last year, they drew the fifth fewest walks. So they're a team that does not just sit back and just let the pitcher make the mistake. They don't walk a lot, which can help him a little bit. He still needs to have his command, obviously. But this Mets offense we already talked about, they're like bottom five everywhere. I mean, they're a terrible offense so far this year. And yeah, they might get a little bit better, but I don't see them being that great. It's not a very deep lineup. So give me the Reds. Hopefully Hunter Green has his command and he can take care of business in the game. Or in this game. The Mets have a slight advantage in the bullpen, but again, they used a lot of guys, including Edwin Diaz yesterday. And Edwin Diaz is probably their main guy, their best player. He's not going to come in if it's, they're down one or anything. He comes in to save games, to close the door. So I'm expecting the Reds to have the lead after 5 innings and head over to their bullpen. But give me the better team for only a small price of -116. I mean, if this was up to probably -135-ish, I probably would have still played it. So anyways, Reds money line, my first best bet. And before we get to that second bet, we got to check out a promo. All right, I know I've mentioned it before, but this is one of the best promos out there. And we got the Final Four this weekend. We got MLB, we got NBA. Now is the best time you can join BetMGM. First bet offer up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if you don't win. It's an incredible deal. All you have to do is click that link below. Go to the description. Go to the BetMGM link, click on that, sign up, and there you go. You get your great promotion to start it out. It's a great time of the sports year. So if you are in a legal state for BetMGM, go join now. And of course, you must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, back to the bets. All right, this second game takes us out to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We got the Brewers hosting the Seattle Mariners. Brewers money line -125, Mariners money line +105. Total in this game is 7 runs. My first bet on my team, the Mariners, and it's a player prop. Give me Logan Gilbert over 17.5 outs recorded at -115 on DraftKings. That's right. We're going with the guy with 2 first names. We need him to go 6 innings. That's what that means. 18 outs or more, hash brown math. But Logan Gilbert is a great young pitcher. If you do not know him, he kind of was hit and miss on his rookie year. But last year and the start of this year has been great. So in his first start, he went 7 innings. That's right. We only need 6. In that first start, he went 7 with 8 strikeouts versus the Boston Red Sox with only 1 walk, and he threw 91 pitches, which is what you love to see when you're doing outs recorded. Someone's already throwing 91 pitches in his first start, so I think he could easily throw 90 to 100 pitches in this game, assuming he's pitching well, of course. But he pitched 6 or more innings in 8 of his last 12 starts last year, and he's also a pitcher that pitches better on the road. 3.4 ERA on the road. He had over a 4 ERA at Safeco at T-Mobile Park now, but and he had 6+ innings pitched in 10 of 16 road games last year. So 10 of 16 is a good hit rate. It's last year. It's just a stat. It isn't the reason why I made the bet. And I'm not counting one of the games he left hurt, but he is facing a Brewers offense. They've surprisingly done pretty well this year so far, but it's a small sample size, and I do not expect that to continue. And one of the stats that tells you that is the BABIP. It's the batting average on balls in play. So are you getting hits on balls in play only? That's all they judge it on. And they have the 3rd highest in the major leagues this year at 356 average. That is incredibly high. They were 288 last year, just so you know. Luck is not going to last long. Obviously, this is one game, so it could last one more game. You never know. But I just don't think they're as good as they've shown so far. Last season, they were 23rd at WRC+, that's weighted runs created plus, versus right-handed pitching. So they weren't very good. That's an overall way of telling how good your offense is. And they were 23rd in batting average. This is not a great offense. Hopefully they don't stay hot. But Logan Gilbert is a stud, that's for sure. So one of the reasons he can go deep into games is because, like his buddy George Kirby, which, by the way, I just realized both of them have 2 first names for their name. Anyways, he rarely walks batters. So he has a 4.7% walk rate, which obviously if you're doing this and you're following games and you're watching, the worst thing you can do is to see pitchers waste that pitch count, drive the pitch count out, walking guys over and over, not getting outs. But Gilbert and Kirby, for what it's worth, do not walk guys, and that really helps. So I think he's going to get the job done here again. Mariners need a win. They had a day off yesterday. I think they are going to come out. He's going to come out and get them centered. I kind of like them as the underdog here too. But trusting a Mariners offense right now makes me want to throw up. And it's my own team. So anyways, give me Logan Gilbert over 17.5 outs recorded as my second best bet. And let's move on to bet number 3. All right, this third and final bet takes us out to Detroit, Michigan. We got the Tigers hosting the Oakland A's. Tigers money line minus 250. A's money line plus 205. Total in this game is 7.5 runs. It's time, guys. We're doing it again. Give it to me. The Nerfy of the Tigers A's game minus 130 on ESPN bet. I saw it at minus 140 on DraftKings. Maybe I'm addicted to this because we won one bet. Maybe I am, and just how we won it, it was just kind of a rush. So again, these are Nerfy and Yerfy, so I can only give you so much analysis, but you know me, I am going to give you a decent amount of analysis. So, but this game is at 10:10 in the morning, my time. 1:10 in the afternoon. That means at 10:10, I'm going to make sure I have my coffee prepared. I'm going to make sure the kids are settled. I'm going to make sure that I get more gray hair and stress this one out because that's just what you do. So that could be the main reason I'm betting this. But anyways, let's just talk the stats real quick. I really thought I was going to see this around minus 160. The total is only 7.5 runs. The total is 7.5 runs, and ESPN bet is dropping minus 130 for no run in just the first inning. So it's a flat spot for those Tigres, in my opinion. They just had a doubleheader in New York. Now have to travel back home to Detroit. I think their bats are going to come out kind of slow. But let's talk the two pitchers and the matchups real quick, just in the first inning, of course. Tariq Skubal, the lefty, as good as it gets. Cy Young candidate. He should get 3 outs against the A's. I'm not even going to analyze the top 3 A's hitters because it shouldn't matter. He may not give up a run all game. He may not. That's how good he is. He's great. Let's move on. JP Sears takes the mound for the A's versus the Tigers, top of the order in the bottom of the first. Or top of the first. Sorry. No, bottom of the first. Hello. Think about it. Anyways, he is a lefty, JP Sears. Parker Meadows is leading off more than likely. He is a lefty. I went into his minor league numbers because he is a rookie. He was average. He didn't hit that great. He wasn't anything special. Makes sense because he is a lefty himself, and he's a rookie starting out in the majors. Spencer Torkelson last year hit 231 off lefties. Kerry Carpenter, the number 3 hitter, is a lefty himself. Only hit 235 last season compared to 286 versus righties. So he's obviously better against righties. And then Riley Green, good hitter, hit 279 versus lefties compared to 291 versus righties. Obviously, one swing of the bat takes all of this and throws it in the garbage. But the top 4 hitters not very good against lefties. The Tigers overall weren't that great against lefties last year. I don't think they're going to be that great this year as well. JP Sears is an average pitcher, nothing unbelievable or anything like that. But I think it's a good spot for him. I think it's a flat spot for these Tigers hitters, especially in the first inning. So I want the Nerfy. Just give it to me. This is my third best bet of the night. The Nerfy in this game at minus 130 on ESPN bet, and let's sweat this out together. Let's do it. So anyways, those are my 3 best bets. I more than likely will have one more added play, at least one more added play in the morning my time, West Coast. So might be afternoon for you by the time that hits. But anyways, that's what we got for the Friday show. That was fun, talking a lot of baseball. But let's check out the bets recap. All right, those are the 3 bets. The Reds money line minus 116 on FanDuel. And then Logan Gilbert over 17.5 outs recorded at minus 120 on DraftKings. And we wrap it up with the sweatiest bet of all, because they always are, the Nerfy, the Oakland-Detroit game at minus 130 on ESPN bet. Again, any added plays will be in the pinned comments below. They will be on X and on Discord. Thank you. This has been a wild week for us. 2 videos every single night, and we're going to do it again next week. We'll at least try as hard as we can. So thank you guys for the support, though. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys all have a great Friday, a great weekend, and be sure to check out that NBA Best Bets video as well. We'll talk to you soon.